Does everyone know what an inspector general is? No? All right. Well, let me break it down for you. We had an act that passed in 1978, and it sets out the parameters of our inspector generals, which are supposed to be people within the federal executive branch and the different divisions and agencies keeping an eye on what's going on. So, on how the people within the department are working and if they're seeing any trouble or ways to be more efficient and those kinds of things. The appointment process and removal process for inspector generals is set out in 5 United States Code Section 403. And I'll just read you Section A in general to kind of explain what's going on here. There shall be at the head of each office an inspector general who shall be appointed by the president by and with the advice and consent of the Senate without regard to political affiliation and solely on the basis of integrity and demonstrated ability in accounting, auditing, financial analysis, law, management analysis, public administration, or investigations. Each inspector general shall report to and be under the general supervision of the head of the establishment involved, or to the extent such authority is delegated, the officer next in rank below such head, but shall not report to or be subject to supervision by any other officer of the establishment. Neither the head of the establishment nor the officer next in rank below the head shall prevent or prohibit the inspector general from initiating, carrying out, or completing any audit or investigation, or from issuing any subpoena during the course of any audit or investigation. So they're kind of the equivalent to internal affairs. And if you were looking at this as an old cop show, so you've got the cops out there, right? And then you've got people like, ooh, internal affairs is after you. And the cops are like, oh, okay, what do we do? Now, here's the piece that I think perhaps someone has forgotten about, which is the Section B removal or transfer of inspector generals. Let me just read this to you. An inspector general may be removed from office by the president if an inspector general is removed from office or is transferred to another position or location within an establishment. The president shall communicate in writing the reasons for any such removal or transfer to both houses of Congress, not later than 30 days before the removal or transfer. Nothing in this subsection shall prohibit a personnel action otherwise authorized by law other than transfer or removal. So you can do anything that you want except a removal, because in order to do that, you need to list out the reasons why you're trying to remove that and submit it to Congress with this 30-day piece involved. Inspector generals are not at will employees, so you can't just get rid of them like you would if you were running a business. Meaning, technically, these inspector generals that are being discussed, I think there's about 12 of them that have been removed, would have grounds for lawsuits. Now, this isn't legal advice, this is legal education. But each and every single one of those inspector generals were not given 30 days notice, and nothing was given to Congress. They were just kind of like, oh, it's midnight, now you can go. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen because the law was not followed in terminating their employment. And there's going to be, in my opinion, some significant legal issues if someone in the executive branch is like, well, we don't need to follow the rules, we'll just fire everybody. That's why the lawsuits are rolling in and will continue to be rolling in, everybody. Overall, we've got approximately 73 inspector generals throughout the federal system here in charge of different agencies' abilities to save money, financial responsibility, to cut waste, or to make sure they're investigating any kind of activities of their own employees. So, kind of a whistleblower situation as well. We'll see what happens. Along with a lot of things that have been happening lately with the executive branch. And there are a lot of things going on in the executive branch that are against the rules and the laws. And the question is, who's going to enforce it? And my answer is, well, take them to court. That's what you got to do. because at the end of the day, it's our judicial branch that has to make sure we're keeping the executive branch in check. Congress also has a role to play, but they're a little busy right now. So come on, checks and balances, do your job.